Time for an update on this guy. Former President Jimmy Carter is still alive. President Carter went onto hospice a little more than 3 months ago. In order to qualify for hospice, a person needs to have a terminal diagnosis with a life expectancy of 6 months or less. So does this mean that President Carter only has 3 more months of life left? We don't know. Nobody knows. And from the standpoint of hospice, it doesn't really matter, as long as he meets the eligibility requirement of a life expectancy of 6 months or less. However, once a person reaches that 3-month mark, they do have to go through a recertification process. So here's what happens next. The interdisciplinary team, which includes the RN, the social worker, the chaplain, the hospice provider, and the patient's attending provider, will collaborate to determine if they think that the person still has a life expectancy of 6 months or less. Notice I said 6 months or less, not 3 months or less. Just because a person has been on hospice for 3 months does not mean they only get 3 more months of life expectancy. It is 6 months or less at any given time during the hospice stay. If the person, in this case President Carter, is eligible, the hospice doctor is going to sign a certificate of terminal illness. That will last for another 3 months. After that, if President Carter is still alive, and he very well could be, he will go through another recertification process. And at that time, even though 6 months will have passed, the eligibility requirement is still a life expectancy of 6 months or less.